Welcome to Behlen. We consider this our world headquarters. Man, I can see this is going to be an easy crowd today. Thank you so much. I wish it was like this at home. First of all, I would like to do a couple of things to announce what we're going to be celebrating. Obviously, 80 years in business is a tremendous accomplishment. There are companies that do it, but not all the time, and we consider ourselves very lucky and proud to be part of a group of companies that are 80 years in business. You know, back in the beginning of the year, our year starts in November. We try not to do anything really traditional here. So we start our fiscal year in November, and we declared this year as a year of celebration and positive change. And I can tell you that we have a lot to celebrate, and it's a great time to be at Behlen. And we just want to make sure that we recognize we have about 950 partners in progress throughout the country. There's about 680 people that work here in Columbus, and there's over 130 partners in progress that have worked for Behlen for over 40 years, and a lot of those are in the audience today. So I'd like to recognize all of the partners in progress and the people that have made this happen. Thank you. Before we move on, I would like to recognize that today is Flag Day. So we have a couple of young ladies from high school that volunteered or were volunteered to sing the national anthem and then one other song after that. So I'm going to pass this on to Natalie Raimondo and Jessie Nelson. And can you tell which one's which? And here you go. So I didn't tell them this ahead of time, but we are videotaping this, and it will be available on some form of a YouTube video later, and we are going to try to have the details out pretty right after this. So as we start our day here, the first group that I think we have to recognize is the Behlen family. And all the members of the Behlen family, if you can please stand and rise or wave your hands. We just really want to show our appreciation for your family starting this great company. So thank you very much for being here. If it weren't for you guys, none of this would be here, so thanks again. I also want to make sure that we recognize the Raimondo family. We have a pretty good contingent here. Not everybody's here, but many of the Raimondos are here, so if you could please rise and get recognized, we'd appreciate that. I'll just keep standing. Our goal is to be able to stand up here for many, 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 many years to come. So we're working very hard to do that. And we also want to recognize our board members, our advisory board members, and the people that help guide us and make good decisions for us. So if you guys could please stand real quick. In case you forget, just you'll know we're all wearing the same shirt. We have very many government officials, dignitaries, and important people in our community that are here. In fact, I'm actually going to ask Casey Baylitz to help me as he comes up and shares a few words at the end to recognize everybody that's here. We really appreciate the support that you've provided for Behlen. We're very proud to be in the community, very proud to be in the state of Nebraska, very proud to be in the U.S., and we're honored to have you here today. So we also have key members of our leadership team here, and we have great customers here. A few of our suppliers are here, and with that, I would like to actually turn my page so I know what I'm doing. I would like to ask Casey and Bob if you could come up here real quick, and we're gonna share a little bit of a gesture, a small token of our appreciation.
Casey? No.
Dick Casey, I'm sorry.
Help Bob, Casey, go this way. Stairs like Bob. Casey, go the other way. Stairs. You're falling down.
So there is an opportunity to recognize the key people that were part of the 1984 return to local ownership. And TR, we actually recognized TR at a builder meeting in February with a plaque, a commemorative plaque, and we would like to do the same for Dick Casey and Bob Thielen. And I think I'll let TR share a few thoughts about Bob since he's the most senior.
Well, a lot of people know how I like to introduce Bob, and I just love to start off. I think Steve, his wife, approves. Bob just is not very smart. Now, the way I get off the hook is I say, he's the guy that hired me. So Bob, I also have to add that Bob has been a partner in progress, worked at Behlen for decades, and has never lost any continuity. He's moved right from a key leadership position to the board and remains on the board. And Bob now has 60 years with the Behlen team. How about that? Can you walk up this way, partner? This 80-year celebration plaque has on the bottom Bob Thielen, a key member in the return of Behlen to local ownership in 1984. Bob, thanks for being a partner, pal.
Casey, we also want to recognize that I think there's some confusion because we actually officially made you a member of our 40-year club, but you gave us an IOU that you're going to stay at least till 2018. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that especially for Kenny Strikey, who's in the audience taking notes. So we have the same plaque for you as a key member of the Return to Local Ownership team in 1984. We just want to give you some special recognition, so thank you. As we continue along with our agenda, it's my honor to introduce our Lieutenant Governor, Mike Foley. He has been in office with Governor Ricketts since November. He was elected in November of 2014. So time flies when you're having fun, I'm sure. Lieutenant Governor Foley has been married 25 years and they have 6 children living in Lincoln. Originally from Rochester, New York, so that's a link. The Raimondos grew up, most of us, all of us, in Buffalo, and TR actually has a degree from Rochester University. So there's a little bit of small world in that. He's been a state senator and the state auditor for many, many years. So with that, I would like to introduce Lieutenant Governor Mike Foley.
Phil, thank you very much for your kind invitation to come up today and to help celebrate an extraordinary accomplishment. And I extend to you my deepest appreciation of that of Governor Pete Ricketts for all that you've accomplished, to the Behlen family, the Raimondo family, and all of your hundreds and hundreds of collaborators who've contributed so much to the vibrancy of the state of Nebraska. We're very grateful for all that you've accomplished. You know, running a business today is no small proposition. There is very difficult and complex tax policies and regulatory policies. Obviously, we live in a very litigious society. All these factors militate against successful operation of business. But you worked your way through all of that and managed so effectively over some 80 years now. So congratulations on that wonderful accomplishment. You've been beautiful, truly beautiful corporate citizens for our state. And we're very proud of you. So with that, let me present to you and read for you an official proclamation of the state of Nebraska, which reads as follows. Whereas Behlen Manufacturing Company has been a contributing company to the communities of Columbus, Nebraska and Omaha, Nebraska. Now whereas the vision of Behlen is where teamwork and change make customers and employees better off. And whereas over the years, Behlen Manufacturing Company has been honored with many awards and certificates, including Midwest International Trade Association Exporter of the Year in 2012, and the Nebraska State Edgerton Award for Excellence in Quality and Continuous Improvement in the year 2000 and 2005. And whereas for 80 years, Behlen Manufacturing Company has been an important role in the manufacturing industry in Nebraska. And whereas the year 2016 marks the 80th anniversary of Behlen Manufacturing Company, and we congratulate them on this important milestone. Now therefore I, Pete Ricketts, Governor of the state of Nebraska, do hereby proclaim the 14th day of June 2016 as the 80th anniversary of Behlen Manufacturing Company Day. Signed, Governor Pete Ricketts and Secretary of State John Gale. Congratulations, Behlen Manufacturing.
Thank you very much. And we are going to have a keynote speaker, and I would like TR to come up and introduce you. So,
Thank you, Phil. It is my honor. The governor is just looking smarter every month. Isn't that right, Courtney and Mike? We are neighbors with our Norfolk friends, and we know the talent in the state pretty well, and I'm honored to introduce our new Director of Economic Development. Courtney Detlinger has been Executive Director of the Norfolk Area Economic Development Council, and what I love is the next title she's had, Executive Director of Development for Northeast Community College. I think most of you know Behlen is very committed to helping students understand what education paths lead to good paying careers. Courtney is in that same camp, and I'm just delighted that the governor has recognized the talent in Norfolk, Nebraska. So Courtney, would you please join us at the podium?
I'm delighted to be here today. What a fantastic accomplishment to have a company this successful for 80 years right here in our state and family owned to boot. I want to reflect on a few numbers some of you may have heard today or seen in the great piece of literature they've put together about Behlen Manufacturing. 1, they're the first company that Inc. magazine recognized in the state of Nebraska for turning around a company and bringing it to success. One of only 3, I might add, in the state that have been so recognized. 40. Behlen exports to more than 40 countries around the world every year. This brings new dollars into our state, new dollars into our economy, and is helping increase the quality of life right here at home. 80. Of course, today we're celebrating 80 years for this company, adding to the success of our state. 300. This is their goal, 300 million in annual sales, and I have absolutely no doubt they're going to make that goal and beat that goal. 680. That's the number of partners they have working right here in Columbus, Nebraska. As impressive as these numbers are, what's more impressive is how they have reached this level of success. They're true innovators, not just in the products they take to market, but also in the way they manage the company. They value and celebrate their partners. Every person that works at Behlen Manufacturing is valued by the company. The way they've grown Behlen is the same way we want to grow the state of Nebraska. We need to be innovative. We need to have vision. We need to celebrate our partnerships. If we're going to be successful, it's going to be by growing companies just like this, helping many companies across the state of Nebraska reach the goal of 80 years and beyond. Phil mentioned earlier luck in his comments. It might have had a little bit to do with it, but I think the vision, the innovation, the commitment, the drive, and the partnerships that they have established are truly what have led to success. Wishing you many, many.
Did we lose that? Thank you, Courtney. While we're getting Lieutenant Courtney, we're absolutely delighted you would bring your children with you. And I just learned that you also have your father with you, who worked with Congressman Fortenberry, who covers our area. We had an incredible project that maybe Casey Bayless will say, or the mayor will tell you a little bit about it, that Congressman Fortenberry challenged us. I'll leave it at that because I know one of you guys will pick it up and see what we did with the partnership with Congressman Fortenberry. How are we doing? Should I speak a little louder? A little louder? Okay. Right now, I have an introduction and I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm going to be cautious because our next speaker, you're a double E? You fixed it? Can I tell you're a colorblind double E? True story, true story. Our next speaker is former Senator Ben Nelson. The little I would say, most of you know his background, a very, very popular two-term governor, two-term U.S. Senator, and he might tell you a little story, so I won't go to the beginning. I'll just tell you I was honored as our state chamber friends were honored when he said, "Gentlemen, I know you've wanted to start trade missions and travel the world," and Senator Nelson, Governor Nelson at that time, asked if we would join him in starting trade missions and traveling the world. So Barry and I, you'll hear in a few minutes, Barry Kennedy from the State Chamber and I, we had the honor or challenge to travel with Governor Nelson for 2 terms. And I would say I will always remember the numbers because before the trade missions were started, Nebraska exported about $800 million a year. When Governor Nelson left the office, it was about $2.9 billion in 8 years. And as most of you know, every governor, and I've traveled with them all after Ben, they've all followed the trail to international trade missions, international relationships. And one congressman asked me how I felt about trade. And I said, "Congressman, there's only one thing that I believe will help Behlen Partners in Progress sustain their jobs. And that is open the markets and let us compete globally." So we are totally in the camp of we want to be globally competitive. And with that, I'm honored to introduce our board member. We were one of the first boards that Governor Nelson joined right after completing his term as a 2-term governor. Then he went on to be U.S. Senate. So, Senator Nelson, would you please come to the podium?
Thank you very much, TR, and thank you all today for being here. A special thank you to the Behlen family, not only for being here, but for having the vision, the forebears, to bring about such a great company here in Columbus, Nebraska. A very special congratulations to all the employees and all the folks who are associated with Behlen today. It's not only a great business, it's a great family. And what I've found is that great families are able to do great things. A very special congratulations and thank you to the Raimondo family. I think I'm hearing the next generation over there just a minute ago, so I know things are going to continue on to the next generation and the one after that. I want to say today that it's really a pleasure to be able to be here as a member of the advisory board of Behlen, having served in other capacities since leaving the office as governor, doing what I could to continue to support this wonderful manufacturing operation and all the people who depend on it. Not only the employees and the members, but the buyers, the customers, those who supply, and those who produce, and who erect the buildings and the various different products that are created. Because that's what the economy is all about. It's about every aspect of it, not a single aspect of the economy. It's all tied together. And it works best when all those elements, like a family, come together and find a common purpose to be able to do so. Behlen is one of the best examples that I've ever seen of this kind of family commitment. And it's because everybody is involved to one degree or another. It's more than a job. It's more than a place to work. It's more than a place to earn your living. It's beyond that. And that's what makes it so special. So today I want to thank Tony, TR, for inviting me to be on the board, and also to remind him of the discussion we had when I was running for governor, and in his office I said, I hope to be elected. I know what you're interested in international trade, and I know that I'll come back to you and I will ask you to be a partner, and we will pursue around the world. I'm one who believes that you have to think locally, but you have to act globally. Thank you all. May God bless our men and women in uniform and all the people in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Just a short note on this TR and Tony stuff. I am now officially TR because when Phil and Tony took over and the poor administrative assistants were going, answering the phone, oh good, you want to talk to Tony, Tony Jr., Tony Sr., Tony Jr., Tony Sr. We had about 6 months of that, and the way I tell the story is Tony stole my name. He may tell the story, he's going to get the mic, so he may tell the story a little differently. Right now, I am honored that we have a strong statewide group joining us today, and it's the State Chamber of Commerce led by Barry Kennedy, the president of the State Chamber of Commerce, and we've been committed members to that organization, and it's done so much good for decades for the business and for employees. Barry has with him Jamie and Joe, and Barry, would you please come to the podium, my friend?
Thank you very much, TR, for that very gracious introduction. You know, when TR asked me to make a few comments, and then I agreed to do it, but he didn't tell me I was going to have to follow Natalie and Jesse. And that made it a lot more difficult. But thank you. As an American, as a veteran, that was inspiring, and we do appreciate it. It is indeed my honor. And I think this perhaps is the only company, as the State Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we're also the Manufacturing Association for Nebraska, we administer the Nebraska Business Hall of Fame. I think this might be the only company where we have inducted into that Hall of Fame 2 different generations. Walt and Gibb and Mike Behlen have been inducted into the Nebraska Business Hall of Fame, and T.R. Romano is a member of the Nebraska Business Hall of Fame. So this company has certainly distinguished itself in that degree. You know, we're here today to celebrate Behlen. We're here today to celebrate business in Nebraska, and that's what we all care about in growing our economy. But Behlen is indeed a national leader as well. I'm sure most of you know that TR has served on the board of directors of the National Association of Manufacturers and been a real leader in advanced manufacturing and an example of advanced manufacturing all across this great nation. Founding Dream It, Do It here in Nebraska, which is a tool to get young people interested in careers in manufacturing. You know, it's all about workforce. It's all about growing our economy and creating, as Senator Nelson just said, not just jobs, but careers. Creating a livelihood for a lot of people here in Columbus, Nebraska, across the nation, who have a worthwhile career and are able to raise their families with the same rights and freedoms that we all enjoy. And Behlen as a team, and when I think of Lyle and Tony, Phil, Dick Casey, TR, and every employee here or in the other locations, you've just set an example that is a model for a lot of other private enterprise organizations all across the nation. I congratulate you for that work, for your commitment to Nebraska. We thank you for everything you've done here, and I'll try to be back when you do 100 years, okay?
Thank you, Gary. I'm going to go off script for a minute. You all know how important the spouse is, and I want to ask my wife, Jean, to stand. And I'm going to maybe try to embarrass her. Maybe you can answer this question, Jean. In your wildest dreams, I'm going to steal that line from Ben. In your wildest dreams, did you ever believe we would be part of a family company? When we came, I was always a part of a big corporation, and Jean and I did take some risk moves, and you all know the real key to anybody who has success is that support that we get, and I've been very, very fortunate, and I'd like to thank you publicly, dear. It's been incredible. It'll be 56 years in August, and every time we get close to August, she says, "Why do you talk about it? You haven't made it yet." With that, I'm going to turn it over to Tony.
In all fairness to my father, TR, my mom missed the punchline, right, man? The real answer is, hon, you're never in my wildest dreams. Thought I'd help you out there, Mom. And I really won't comment on the Tony TR. I won't call it a fiasco, but it sometimes is close to. But I do have two sons, neither one of which is named Tony. And it is Kellen and Leo, and I think we're done, so there's no other opportunities. At least as far as I know. So I had the chance to talk about the Columbus Quality of Life Initiative and the Raimondo Foundation, and I won't make this too long, but I did, Lieutenant Governor Foley commented about how important it is to be a good corporate citizen. And I think it was a few years ago that we started talking about that at Behlen within the Raimondo family, and about a year ago we started the Raimondo Foundation with the thinking that we wanted to take that opportunity and use that organization or institution to do some donations that are important to Nebraska and especially to Columbus. And I don't think we didn't feel that there was anything more important and more important to the future of Columbus and growing Columbus than the Columbus Quality of Life Initiative. And so recently we had the opportunity to make a donation to that cause that we're very proud of, and it was matched by the Sherwood Foundation and among other groups, local groups. So we're very happy that we took that opportunity and very proud of the fact that we're supporting Columbus and its growth. And also really looking forward to all the people that are working very hard on the Columbus Quality of Life Initiative. That includes the STEM Academy at the high school, the Columbus Wellness Facility, East Central Health Clinic, and also the Library and Arts, the new Library and Arts facility. So all of those are really, really important to Columbus. We can't tell you how important it is as business owners and people trying to manage a growing business, how important it is to get the talented people, especially young people, that we need to grow our company in the future. TR talks a lot about advanced manufacturing, how important that is to our economy in the United States, trying to invest in actually making things in the United States as opposed to having things made elsewhere. And to do that, we need technology, we need automation, we need advanced manufacturing jobs. And with that, it takes some skills, it takes education. And with the STEM Academy, that is super important to help educate our young people in the skills that they need to be great partners of progress for us in the future. So we'd just like to take a minute and thank all the people working on the Columbus Quality of Life initiative and to reflect on how important that is for us as a growing company. So thank you. I also have the privilege of introducing the Mayor of Columbus, Mayor Mike Mosier, to come up and say a few words.
It really is a pleasure to be able to come up to talk a little bit about the importance of Behlen's in the history of Columbus. Behlen has really put Columbus on the map. You can travel many places in the country, or the world for that matter, and talk about Behlen manufacturing, and there are people that will recognize that name and know that they're from Columbus, Nebraska. We really appreciate in Columbus the presence of Behlen, the ingenious inventors that were the Behlen brothers, and all the smart things they thought up, and the entrepreneurial spirit they had. On the other hand, we really appreciate the tenacity of the Raimondos, Tylans, and Dick Casey, who've been able to keep it going. As you are in business more and more years, and as you get larger and larger, business becomes more and more difficult to run. And when you consider that the management team that took over from Wicks has been in place 32 years, which is about 40% of the history of Behlen's, those might have been some of the toughest decisions to make. And I congratulate them for the wisdom of their business decisions. Every business has opportunities every day, every week, every month to make decisions that help or hurt your future. And these gentlemen in the front row have really made some good decisions. And we're proud that they've been here to work with us in Columbus, Nebraska. So let's give them a hand. If they hadn't stepped up, you just consider, where would these 680 employees be today? Where would I be today? I wouldn't be here. The importance of this company in our community is just huge. All the members of their team that belong to the Rotary Club, or they belong to a church and they volunteer for their church. And I know that there are a number of musicians that work at Behlen's, because I work in the music business, and I see a lot of those people, and I see the good things that they're doing in their churches and their service clubs, and I just think it's a great thing for the community. As far as the contributions made by the family to the community, there are two that pop up in my memory. One of them is the Higgins Memorial that Behlen's was so involved in getting constructed and shipped to France. I was privileged to go to France last year, almost a year from now, to officially open the exhibit. And before we even got started, there were little kids, not unlike this little kid in the red shirt over here. We were looking for rocks before we got up here. They were in the display and touching the statues, doing chin-ups from the barrels of the guns. I hope they're well made. And the exhibit was just a tremendous attraction, and it was drawing visitors before we even got the program completed. They were so involved in getting that shipped over there. Congressman Fortenberry, along with Timothy Kilver-Jones, came up with the idea of making a replica Higgins boat to recognize the fact that Andrew Higgins was born in Columbus. And they took that challenge in about 9 or 10 months, got it built, paid for, and shipped to France in time for that ceremony. So that was a really big move. The other thing that Phil talked a little bit about, or was it Tony? I get the names mixed up myself. One of these two brothers here. Was the contribution to the quality of life program that we've got going on in Columbus. The improvements to the YMCA, the improvements that the high school is making, building a new school, having a new STEM academy. We had a challenge grant from the Sherwood Foundation, and it was very, very large, and one of the requirements was that we had to have local matching money, and the Raimondo Family Foundation stepped up and made a major contribution to make that happen, so we're very appreciative of that. So we appreciate the 80 years. Barry and I are both going to start taking Geritol so we can last until 2036, if my math is correct, so we can come back and help them celebrate 100, because I'm sure the crowd will be bigger, and we'll have more to talk about, and we'll probably have even better food than today. So have a great day, and thank you very much to all the Behlen family. We really appreciate all your work.
Almost, not yet. Pretty soon, we'd like to have Casey Baylitz come up and share a few words. Casey is the head of our Columbus area Chamber of Commerce and is never in the front of any effort that we do, but always the one that gets things done behind the scenes. So thank you so much, Casey.
That is not entirely true today, because I'm going to be out front on trying to do some introductions of dignitaries in a public setting, which any of you who've done that know is avoiding landmines left and right, which is why I'm doing it, not Phil. So I'm going to do the very best I can. And please, if I missed you, please know that that's not a result of any lack of appreciation of you being here. It is only an innocent mistake of not catching you walking in the tent. So first off, I'd like to recognize Tiffany Settles, who is here representing U.S. Senator Deb Fischer. Lee Klein is here from the office of Congressman Jeff Fortenberry. Strikes me, Lee, you're going to go right back to the way it was in high school. You're just Courtney's dad now, aren't you? Yeah, it's a shame. We have a number of members of the Platte County Board of Supervisors here, so I just ask you to stand as a group, if you would, please, and be recognized. Thanks for being here. We have a number of members of the Columbus City Council who have joined the mayor here today, so if you would stand and be recognized. John, Rich. From one of the true partners to both Behlen and the community, Central Community College Campus President Dr. Matt Gottschall and his staff, Dwayne, Dan. Our Superintendent of Schools, Troy Leffoltz, is here. Troy? There you go. Representing the Columbus Economic Council, David Bell. And again, anyone else who traveled to be here, who came representing your organization, whatever that tie is to Behlen, we are truly appreciative as a community and as a company that you made time on this afternoon to join the Behlen family in celebrating this. And again, as you've read, as you've heard, this is a celebration of 80 years, which is a long time, and obviously there's a long baseline there, but it's also a celebration of change and positive change, and clearly that has been the hallmark of this company since day one. You know, transformation has to start somewhere. It has to start from some baseline, and so for 80 years, residents of Columbus have been able to trust that there are good jobs, good careers, a great atmosphere working for Behlen Manufacturing on the east side of Columbus somewhere, as that has transformed over the years. And at the same time, this community has been able to count on the fact that whether it was the Behlen family, or whether it is the Raimondo family, whether it is all of these partners in progress, they've always been able to be counted on to transform this community just as they are transforming the lives of those who work here. I think about the hospital that the Behlen brothers were key players in long ago. I think about the YMCA, both in its prior location and now in the new location, where again, two generations of Behlen leadership have been intimately involved in making it happen. The quality of life centers that have been referenced by the mayor, the Higgins Memorial that TR and the mayor talked about. Every time one of those things happens, it happens in part because of Behlen. And that is an extraordinary thing if you think about that. There are very few organizations that can truly say they're transformational, either for themselves or for their community. And Behlen can say both. And to have done that for 80 years through two families, what an extraordinary gift to Columbus, Nebraska, to certainly a large region around Columbus. That is an awful lot to celebrate. So I am deeply appreciative to those of you in the Behlen family for being a part of this celebration, to these three gentlemen on the stage, and to the 800 or so partners in progress and other associates. We're deeply grateful, and we are so fortunate to have a shared future between Columbus, Nebraska and Behlen Manufacturing, because as a result of that sharing, as a result of that shared future, both of us have a brighter future. Both the community, the region, and the company have a brighter future because of that. And because I know I am the only thing between you and air conditioning, I'm going to say congratulations, thanks for coming, and to the Raimondo family, a great 80 years yet to come.
I really believe that our success is all about the relationships that we build with our partners in progress, with our suppliers, with our customers, especially our customers, and all. I mean, we've said this a lot, but all of our partners in progress should know that, you know, our job security is based on our customers and what we can do to make their life easier and always come to Behlen for their business. And that's really been an important part of our success over the years. So we want to make sure that we thank all of our customers here, and those that couldn't make it, hopefully they'll get to see the video. I was very, very excited to get a letter from Senator Fisher's. Actually, she signed a nice letter to recognize our 80-year celebration. I wanted to mention that. And I do have a couple of other things that I think are just amazing. We had a few people at Behlen spend about a month and a half or 80 years putting together this history book, and those are available. The last time we did a history book was at the 70 years, so 10 years ago, and we did one insert, so we combined all that stuff. We upgraded it, deleted a few items, but most of the things were added. And you're welcome to take one of these. Also, it was a great honor for me Saturday morning to open my Columbus Telegram and see the Behlen insert. And not only was it just an outstanding effort by the Telegram to share the story of the Behlen family and the Raimondo family, and actually they probably quoted me too much, but I loved it. It was an opportunity for some of our customers and some of our suppliers and other partners in the community to help recognize our 80-year accomplishment. And the outpouring has been wonderful, and we just really couldn't have been happier with the way that turned out, and we're very, very pleased with that. We really, really appreciate everything that you guys have done. Anything to add? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up.
You got it.
We got good? Yeah? So, okay. So, while you're looking for the history book, There are cupcakes in the Nebraska room. There's an updated video that we talk about our story a little bit. That's also available on our website, or accessible through our website. And we are just so pleased that you've had a chance to come out here. And I think as we wrap things up and sort of tying in our relationship thing, it would be great if all of the Behlen Partners in Progress would just sort of wave to everybody else. And there's cupcakes there, I promise. When we make it to 100 years, we'll upgrade to a full cake. And there are tours that will continue until about 4 o'clock this afternoon. So thanks again for being here. We look forward to spending a long future together. We have a great heritage and a bright future. So thank you very much.